Hello, hello. Let's do a weak shop rob. So we use Mr. Boom for this variant, and I accidentally clicked deathmatch, so you're gonna have to forgive me for that. Deathmatch here is almost completely a negative for me though, so pretend it doesn't exist. So the shop rob is probably the hardest stage in IS5, or at least it's the most skillful one. And so we'll have to go, so there's a lot of variants, and you'll have to adapt to what relics you have. I'm just going to go over the easiest window. So we're going to use Kanta, and she got deathmatch, but it won't matter. So we wait for that last chest to move, and then we Mr. Boom it. Now, we're going to put down Cow next. And to simulate it without Kanta having deathmatch, we're just going to wait until we have way more DP. So over here, we would normally just barely place down Mr. Monster in time before those chests pop up, and then we Mr. Boom them again, because Cow cannot out-heal them because the chests hit very hard. Now we immediately retreat everyone, because we're going to reposition them later. And now we're going to wait. So these dogs, they're kind of annoying, mainly because we don't really want to hit them, otherwise they significantly increase our healing check. So we're going to use Gray to kill it over there, and then we're going to use Kanta to hit Kanat a bit to generate some more DP. So here I did a minor blunder. I placed Gummy early because I was trying to maximize my DP, but this was strictly unnecessary and just increased my chance of getting creeped. Because Gummy has a stun talent, which is purely negative in this scenario. You can see that she stunned it over there. So we're going to place down Cow next, and generate some more DP with the chest. Meanwhile, Gummy is just kind of messing with us a little on the bottom. So we will place down a Mia later when the boxer guys come down. We are delaying our Cruister placement until those chests come to range to prevent Cruister from hitting the enemies that are in the middle. So you can see that Gummy Edge trolled us a little, and there's not much we can do about it, so we're just going to let that guy go. It is perfectly fine and normal to leak enemies in the Kanat fight, as long as they are not chests. If you are leaking chests in Kanat fight, that is a very big problem. Alright, continuing on. You can see that once Gummy is starting to block stuff, she no longer hits the drows as much, and that's why this is mostly fine. Yeah. Deathmatch here was a mistake. I shouldn't have used it, because it just results in Gummy kind of trolling us a little like this. So against a single chest, Cow is totally fine with just Lance plus Crown. She only needs to activate her skill 2, when she has free enemies on her. Alright, so you can see that Gummy is kind of taking a lot of damage, and that's not a great thing, and it's because of the necrosis field. So we're going to activate a Mia Scare Field. It's not strictly, normally we wouldn't need to activate it until the end, but you know, gotta do what you gotta do. So you can see that we activated Cow on the top and Cruister to kill everything on the top, and that's generally how we do it. We will use Cruister and Cow skill for when the cars come. So you can see here that Cruister killed one of those drows, and that's just going to happen, unfortunately. You can't, it's why if you have an extra squad size, it's nice to take Aya and place her so that she's healing everyone in the squad. It also significantly increases the margin for error, right? Because that way, Cruister will barely live 2 drows at base with a Mia talent active, the 10% HP one. And so we like to increase our safety margin a little by either HP buffing or using Aya to make sure that she gets healed immediately. So those chests are also very scary. We do not want Gummy blocking them too much, and so we use Rosmontis to kill them here. Now over on the top, we also have the final wave of enemies, and so we're just going to have Cow and Cruister finish them off. while we deal with the bottom. Yeah. So the moment those enemies chests are killed, we retreat Rosmontis to prepare. We don't want to keep Rosmontis on right now because she'll just destroy all the drills, and that's very not fun. So after that last drill leaks, it's time to start thinking about how we're going to deploy on the bottom to burst down Connaught. We can see that there's Necrosis Field, so we're just going to not do it there. So we're just going to place Grave there. It doesn't really make a huge difference. And Connaught moves extremely slowly, so even with how late we deployed Rosmontis, it's totally fine with because of how slow he moves, especially with Grayscale and Town. Alright, activate Grayscale. We want to avoid stunning him, so we're going to not place Rosmontis until he activates his chest. Alright, he activated his chest, deploy Rosmontis to stun him and to do more damage. And there we go. We have Rosmontis on skill 2 here, mainly because it lets us stun Mr. Connaught more in the final burst, and that's that.